Suitable flesh director Joe Lynch has the resilience one needs to be an indie genre director. Lynch's new horror film starring Heather Graham and Barbara Crampton is currently sporting his best reviews since his certified fresh action horror film, Mayhem, 2017. Suitable Flesh spiritually picks up where Crampton left off in the 80s, alongside director Stuart Gordon and screenwriter Dennis Paoli. Their H.P. Lovecraft adaptations, Re-Animator and From Beyond, have long been considered cult classics, and once Crampton proposed the idea of adapting Lovecraft's The Thing on the Doorstep into Suitable Flesh, a project Gordon and Paoli had once developed, Lynch knew he had to pay tribute his heroes in their Miskatonic University-verse. The more I got ensconced in it, the more it felt like a natural extension of what these guys did before. It allowed me to respectfully take the baton from Stuart and run with it by tethering to this bigger world, Lynch tells The Hollywood Reporter. Lynch also viewed Flesh as an opportunity to fuse horror and the erotic thriller genre, especially at a time when a younger generation is making waves for their disinterest in sexuality on screen. According to a new study from UCLA, nearly half of Gen Z considers sexual content to be superfluous to the plot of movies and TV shows. For Lynch, it comes down to multiple factors including the rise of four-quadrant franchise storytelling and the loss of mid-budget films for grown-ups. We got sex scenes in the 80s and 90s, and we got them in the advent of the mid-budget thriller. And because of the dissolution of the adult mid-budget film, we started to lose sex scenes in films, too, Lynch says. Below, during a recent conversation with THR, Lynch also details the ways in which he prepared his Suitable Flesh cast for his film's eroticism and violence. Then he explains how his podcast, The Movie Crypt, kept him in the film industry when his chips were at their lowest. So did Barbara Crampton first bring up this H.P. Lovecraft adaptation during your Pipe Screams episode of Creepshow? It was actually before that. I was literally about to leave for Atlanta to go shoot Creepshow, and my flight was the day that the world shut down in March 2020. At that point, we had not cast the episode yet, and 6 weeks later during the pandemic, Barbara emailed me about this crazy flick, Suitable Flesh. We had been friendly before, but never to the point where she's emailing me, saying, "What do you think about this project?" So once I got interested and we started developing the script during that summer, I was also able to softly develop the stuff that I was doing with Creepshow. In August or September of 2020, when the world was starting to open up a little bit, Creepshow was actually the first show to start rolling again in Atlanta. And then EP, Greg Nicotero, asked me, "Who do you want to play this part?" And I was like, "Who can I find to play the ultimate Karen?" Barbara Crampton. This would also be my very sly way of showing Barbara that I could make a day and be a responsible filmmaker. At the time, she was only going to produce Suitable Flesh. She wasn't going to be in it at all. So I thought Creepshow would be a great way to show her that I know what the hell I'm doing. It was almost like an audition for her. Creepshow is usually shot over 3 days. It's a very tight schedule, and by the end of the first day, she went, "We are going to have so much fun together on Suitable Flesh." At the time, it was called The Thing on the Doorstep, and when we did cast her in Suitable Flesh, I've never worked with anyone who was so prepared. She's just both sides of the coin. She's the best. Suitable Flesh is dedicated to Re-Animator and From Beyond director Stuart Gordon, and it certainly makes sense given Barbara's involvement and the Dennis Paoli script based on a Lovecraft story. Was the project originally conceived to pick up where Gordon left off? When Barbara approached me with it, she wasn't really saying, "We want to continue this Miskatonic verse." Now, I had known about the project for a couple of years, because I used to go to these Masters of Horror dinners, and a lot of times, you would chew the fat with other heroes of yours. Hey, Joe Dante is over there. There's John Landis, and Michael Mann just showed up. And sitting next to Stuart Gordon, one night, he was talking about the project, and he was excited about getting the band back together. So as a fan, I was just excited because it was the reunion of all these great artists that I fell in love with back in the Re-Animator and From Beyond and Dagon days. So when Barbara asked me to take a whack at it, it wasn't really supposed to be that tethered and that much of an homage. She was just like, "Make it your own." But the more and more I read it, and the more I got under the hood, I got excited about.